Good morning, guys, and it's actually afternoon. Been working on the website all freaking morning. I'm about to pull out what's left of my hair, so I need to take a break. We got the wife. She is going to be helping us today. She's actually off earlier than I thought, so we're going to be working on Series Gray today. So you guys are actually getting to see pretty consistent content of it. I'm pretty happy. We do need to finish up our long block that we put together the other day. So with that being said, I need to clock the turbo and actually get it all bolted on and get the drain hooked up, and that way we don't have to deal with that when we're putting it in the car. Then obviously the intake manifold's not bolted on either. I tend to like to put them in without the intake manifold on, so I'll probably end up pulling that back off and put it in the car that way, and then re-put it back in after it's in the car. So everything else is on the motor. You know, the header's all on, the oil pan, oil filter, cooler, everything else is. We do need to finish up the back of the motor though. We need to put all the plugs on it and seal this off, which that does take some time, unfortunately. And I'm curious to see, because we've never ran this twin scroll kit, if we're going to get it by the transmission. It looks like we shouldn't have a problem, but we won't know until we try. So I'm going to get this thing rolled over there. I'm going to start getting this turbo all buttoned up, and we got the wife over here hiding. She's having her snack. What do you got there? Cheese stick? Huh. What's up? You ready to work? What do you mean no?
It's hot.
This is somewhat cooler.
It's so hot.
I recorded the other day for this, and well, you see it turned into a much shorter video, so you guys are gonna have to see that onto another video, unfortunately. But not too sure what's going on with this thing, so don't mind it in the background. We'll probably end up pushing it over and out of the way for now. You can tell VA is still not here, and well, her spot's gotten taken up pretty quickly, so getting pretty used to having only one car in here. It'd be nice. Have so much space I can walk in here. So I'm gonna get going on this thing, and let's get this thing ready to be dropped in the car.
It is. Look at that.
What are you doing, slacker? On your phone? Get back to work.
It's done. I'm ready to start. Turnkey.
So the wind's really killing our show today. It is a freaking windy storm out here, and your boy's got a major migraine, mainly from this damn gray car.
No, it's not.
Let's see. Wind's probably picking up like crazy, but bam, there she is, guys. Woo. Whole motor is in the car. Clutch works. So now we are officially ready to get this thing finished tomorrow, right?
Right.
Running tomorrow?
Running tomorrow.
First start tomorrow?
Need a battery.
Yeah, I need a battery, because I jacked the battery from this for Blue, because you know we like sharing parts around here.
Pull up the battery.
I did not blow the battery up. JR took my damn battery, so I didn't go get another one like I was supposed to, because you know he wanted that quick service. So that's gonna wrap it up today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna go out to dinner, and this thing will be back on schedule for tomorrow. Hopefully do first startup. Good morning, guys. Next day, same shirt, different shirt, but same shirt. We are out here this morning, and we're putting gray back together as promised. I'm really looking to do first startup on this thing today. So we definitely have a full day of getting this thing back together, getting odds and ends back into the car. Now the nice thing is that this was in this car before, so you know we're not gonna have to set up a tremendous amount of stuff. But since we did go with a ETS twin scroll turbo kit, as you guys know that have been following, and just as excited as you guys are, I am excited to see how this twin scroll kit does and see how this 3582 comes into power. You know, we have big cams in it, we do have stock port heads, and we have a very nice ETS twin scroll turbo kit with that Gen 2 3582R. So I'm curious to see how quick does she come in the boost. So now we have this here. This is the one that came with the kit. It is a little bit different than the other one. I probably wouldn't care for the gold tape, but there's no real way to get that freaking stuff off of here once it's been on. I mean, if I peel it, I don't know. I don't think it's probably gonna leave something under there. So I just left it. Since we left this out here last night, we just went ahead and covered this up, because with this out here, we're not sure if it's gonna rain today, hence this. But we have some blue sky. It's pretty rare sight, guys. We've had wind this whole time. We've had smoke. we have wind obviously today too, you know that. But we've had a bunch of smoke, so it's kind of refreshing to come outside, not see too much smoke, just see some blue skies. It's kind of nice, it's relaxing. So I'm gonna get going on this, guys. We got the motor in the car, and we still need to get our starter in. We did make sure the clutch worked. I got the wastegates there. I put the secondary one on. Downpipe is on. So I'm getting that all lined up. Once we get that lined up, it's going to be pretty straightforward from there, because obviously we have our intake manifold that's all complete, ready to go on this thing, and was already in this car. We literally have our fuel lines right there that will connect to it. We will have to put our fuel pressure regulator in here, but other than that, yeah, it should be pretty straightforward. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we don't run into any big hiccups, which I don't think we will. I think we're past that, but we will find out as we go. And I am going to get jumped right into this, guys. And as soon as I get somewhere to a good update point, I will update you guys. And of course, I'll let you guys hear the first startup, because I'm not going to let you miss that. We got to hear that. I do have to go build a map for it, so that way we can start this thing up. I'm not too sure what fuel's in the car. I don't think this thing was on E85 before. I think it was just on pump gas. So good for breaking the motor in. I'll run it on pump gas, you know, for the first 100 or so miles, seat the reins, and then we'll switch it over to E85. But you guys obviously will be seeing that as we go along. So let me get into this, get into work, and I'll update you guys as I go. A little update for you guys. We're probably about 3-4 hours later from earlier. It is extremely windy outside today, so I'm sorry if you're picking up a ton of wind noise. Try to make quick do of this, but here's what we have, guys. This thing is most of the way together. Obviously you can tell we got the whole front engine together, radiators in, whole turbo system is in the car, wastegates, downpipe, everything you see there, intake manifold's on. Obviously we have some vacuum lines here. I got to hook up for the wastegate still, and turbo. Finish hooking up the AOS, which we got mounted up in the center there, and this thing is finally ready to do priming of the engine. So we do this without having spark plugs in the engine, have our battery in, obviously, have our crank sensor unplugged, so that way we don't get any fuel going into the engine right now. And we are ready to see this thing crank over. It's got some music going, so let me turn this off.
Right here with the Dana
got some talking on.
6 to 10 a.m.
Woo! Freaking warm in here. All right, we are almost ready, because I don't have the freaking keys. This thing ain't gonna start if I don't have the dang keys. We got the wife part-timing as always over here. You're gonna look out for me for leaks? Sure. Okay. Yeah, I know you got a good spot for it. All right, I found the freaking keys, guys. Now we can crank this thing over. Let me get out of here. Work my way back in. Now, as they're cranking this thing over, you can tell we have, let me get around here, oil light right there. That's what we're looking for to go off. It's probably going to take about 3 intervals. I do prime the oil pumps before, so they do build quicker. But let's crank this thing over. You have to restart it probably. So you see we're cranking. You'll start to hear the engine pick up. Since this is a push button car, I have to just let it do its cycle. And there's the engine picking up, and oil light is off. So we are all primed now. Now I can turn this thing off. How are we looking out there, part-timer? No oil leaks? Woo! Looks like we're professionals. Nice dirty glove. Does that mean you've been working?
No, it's because they're dirty gloves.
Oh, I ran out of gloves again. And I didn't order any on freaking Amazon, so that means I gotta go pay $1 million to get another set in town tomorrow. But for right now, we're just reusing what we got until I break down and go buy some. Now we got this thing primed. I can now get the spark plugs in it, and I can finish up all of our vacuum system and breather system, get that all together. I know you guys probably would love to see this and watch it, but how windy it is, there's not really much chance to freaking record out here without you guys yelling at me. We have obviously 2 wastegates that we got to set up. Everything is done over there. I need to go underneath, hook up the exhaust. Just a bunch of minor little things, but we should be able to start this thing within the hour. So pretty excited, guys, and I will have to end up loading a new map on the car, a new tune on the car. So I'll do that, get that built. So probably about hour and a half this thing will start, and you guys will get to hear the first startup on this. You excited or what?
For what?
First start. What do you mean for what?
I said for what?
Or what?
I'm excited.
Don't look like you're excited.
I'm excited.
Should we jump up and down?
I'm pretty comfortable here.
Oh, must be nice.
The ceiling. There you go.
Okay. I don't know. All right, I'm getting back to work, guys, and get ready to get this thing started up. Figured I'll show you guys. I got the part-timer at work down here. How much room you got?
None, it's broken.
Broken? She's trying to line up the freaking mid pipe to the downpipe to the exhaust. Figured I would show her what it's like to work with no lift, because that's what she's been spoiled with before. How is it down there, bud?
I need more hands.
My life sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah, why don't you have a shop?
Wow! One day we'll have a shop, guys, and we'll have lifts. For now, I'm stuck working on the ground, and now she is too. So that's the best part. What do you need?
Muscles?
Muscles? You just told me you needed freaking tools.
I need muscles.
Well, you better start getting some muscles there. Part-timer. Alright guys, it's finally time to freaking start this thing. And I am just going to fire it up on the map that was on it. This is one of my first maps that I used when I was first doing tuning. The only difference from this map and what's in the car right now is the car does have bigger camshafts in it. And it does have AVCS now. So now the map that's on it right now has AVCS turned off, and that's not going to be a big deal for what we're doing right now. I can always turn it back on and then obviously make it work. But to do the first startup, we don't need to worry about that. We have the same ID 2000cc injectors in the car. It is on pump 92 fuel, and we have a Wildbro 450 with one of our custom stock hangers that we have done in the car. So everything's pretty much the same fueling wise, map sensor, all the necessities that we need to fire this thing up. But here's a quick look at what this thing looks like with all our wind and glory. But this thing is all the way together. Finally ready to first start up. You ready or what? You look excited.
Always.
So this thing, I just primed the fuel system. As you can tell, the headlights are on, and I had a nice explosion of coolant underneath because that bucket was too full, so don't mind that. But let's see if this thing will fire on up with what's in it. I don't even have the access port in here, it's inside just because of how hot it was. But let's see what happens here. We'll crank this thing over. Almost out of gas. Oh, it tried. Oh, she's running, guys. Looks like we have a check engine light on. We'll check out what that is. So I'll go grab the access port real quick. I'm gonna look underneath this thing. She is running. Sounds like we have an exhaust leak though. Hear it. Well, we're gonna see what we got going on underneath there. I hear an exhaust leak, so I'm gonna put the camera down. I'm gonna try to check that out, and I'm gonna go grab the access port, and I will show you guys what's going on there. So give me just a moment, guys. So with further inspection, it didn't have an exhaust leak. I guess that's just how these headers sound when it's warming up, because I went back underneath the car and there was no leaks anywhere. Made sure all the bolts were tight. There was no issues there. And then I even tightened them when it's warm. Usually I wait until we get a couple of heat cycles in it, and then I'll go back down underneath. And I do recommend tightening those header bolts on there and your up pipe bolts and so forth, because obviously with heat, you know, and cooling down, they'll kind of loosen up. So always a good idea to check those. This thing is all good to go. Coolant system's all bled, and it fired right up on the tune. The code that we had on there was just from the Cobb fuel pressure sensor that I used to have on this car. It hasn't had a Cobb flex fuel kit, but I had the fuel pressure sensor on it, and obviously it doesn't have that on it right now, so that's why I threw the code. I'm gonna go ahead and update the map anyways. I'm gonna turn the AVCS back on. Now that we already fired this thing up, I did about 5 minutes of cam braking, and now we're gonna get this thing off of these jack stands here, take our nice little shielded tent down today, and we'll end up going for the first drive in this thing and doing the cam braking away from here, because we all know our best friend Bob does not enjoy cam break-ins. He'll have a freaking heart attack if we are over here for 25 minutes letting this thing idle. So I'm gonna get this thing on the ground, torque the wheels, update that tune, and then we'll go for the first drive. There she is, guys. I did go ahead and update the tune fully, since it was my first tune I've ever done and working with this car. So I went ahead and just updated it completely to one of my new maps. So this thing is running amazing now. You can hear has a little bit of a lope to it, which I'm kind of surprised with having AVCS, but it still has a little bit of a lope. And man, this brand new Q300 is so quiet because literally it's brand new. It hasn't been even broken. So I mean, it'll get louder over time, but it's so nice and quiet right now. Looks really good on these wheels. I didn't even show you guys that the wife put on an OEM STI front lip. So this thing looks really good in the front now. All complete. You ready for first drive? Go do this cam brake in. So our neighbors love us because we're not going to do it here because they'll have a freaking heart attack. But this thing came out really good, guys. Really happy of it. You guys see? So now what I'll have to do is go for that first drive and do this cam brake in. Hopefully it doesn't get to be too dark for this because it is starting to get dark outside, but our correction factors are looking good on here. Right as I go to show you guys, they go up to -2, but it's been at 0.78, 0.00. Things been looking good, so we are going to go ahead and do that first drive in here. As always, I got the wideband in here. So, time for that first drive. Hopefully, like I said, it doesn't get too dark. I'm going to go do that cam brake in. We're just going to go down the road to good old Mexico, sit on the side of the road, do this cam brake in, make sure everything looks good, and go for the first drive. Oh, I guess I should let her in. You ready or what? Boy, I forget how dark the windows are. It isn't even that dark outside yet. Alright, here you go. You hold the wideband. Here we go. Alright guys, we're out here, middle of nowhere. Now we can finally start doing our cam brake in. Gotta hold it at 2,500 RPMs for 25 minutes. I've already done about 5 minutes of this, so I'm gonna do it for about 20 minutes. Now, with a new engine, I like to alternate RPMs. You can see it's moving around there. So I'll alternate RPMs like that just every once in a while. Otherwise, I'll just hold it right here. So we're going to do this, and I'm obviously not going to make you wait through this with me because it's going to take a bit of time. So I'm going to knock this camshaft brake in out. Now, the whole point of holding RPMs up and why they need you to do this is because when I hold the RPMs up, we have more oil pressure, right? So when you have more oil pressure, you have more oil on your bucket, and that helps with breaking in the camshaft and the coating that's on them. So that's why you want to do camshaft break-in. It's very important, guys, if you want to have a long-lasting engine with your camshaft. So this doesn't need to be done with OEM camshafts, obviously, but with anything aftermarket related, it does need to be done. So I'm going to go ahead, knock this out, and I will catch you guys up as soon as we're finished up. Finally, we are freaking done with cam braking. Never enjoy it, guys. It's just long and boring. So, a little light on here. We are done with cam braking. Let it idle here, cool itself down, because obviously that's 20-25 minutes. Holding it at 2,500 and alternating RPMs. So we got that all finished up. I'm gonna go ahead and load my adjustments I made on the map. Load that on the car, which will correct some of the idle stalling that it's having right now. So I'll go ahead and correct that, and then it's off to get some gas and get this first 50 miles knocked out. I like to do the first 50 right away, guys, so I don't like doing bits and pieces. I'm a believer that you should do the first 50 miles, drain the oil, and then you're good to go for your next. I do another 500 miles on that oil change, and then forever along you guys want to break the engine in. Personally, you know, you guys already know, probably after about 100 miles I'm going to send it. So we're gonna load this map, go get gas, knock these 50 miles out. I'll show you guys what the car sounds like. Sounds pretty good. Garrett, as always, whistling away. The brand new NVIDIA, super freaking quiet, guys. I mean, this had an NVIDIA Q300 out before, and it was very well broken in. This one being brand new is just so quiet. It's literally like having a stock exhaust in the car. So it definitely is a bit different than we're used to. So I'm gonna go ahead and flash this, and I'll show you guys here in a moment when we drive. Just grabbing some fuel, guys, and boy, I think it looks really good on these wheels. Drop down in the comments what you guys think of the wheels. Pretty much the same color as the car. So we're just filling up, unfortunately, with some pump 92 fuel for now, and good old $3.99 for it. So filling it up with that. Then after we get some miles on it, we will be switching this thing over to E85. Thing is driving awesome. No leaks, no issues. Super happy of it. Now we'll go out and put some more miles on this thing and get that first 50 knocked out, and then I can always change oil in the morning or tomorrow and then continue putting more miles on this thing, but at least get the first 50 tonight. That's all that really matters. And boy, this thing was super empty. This fuel pump in this thing is making some noises now too, so hopefully it was because it was so low on gas, but it may be from sitting, maybe the pump's going bad. I am noticing some weird numbers in my VE table. Like I said, this was the first car I ever tuned with Cobb, and I noticed that they're pretty high in there. So injector scaling is correct, I did check that, but I think there's going to be some things that I need to go through. I did revise the map, but it still is the original map, so I don't know, maybe I did something weird back then that obviously isn't right. So I'll have to either A, start over to a completely new map, or B, figure out what the problem is. So I'm gonna go drive the scene, put some miles on it, and then I'll probably end out this video for you guys. Well boys, I know it's pretty dark here, but got the car home. Everything went perfectly as planned. Driving beautiful, super happy of it. We got those first 50 miles all knocked out, 55 or 57 to be exact, and that is gonna wrap this video up, guys. I'm sorry that there wasn't more to it. I mean, you guys got to see us put the car together, but due to all this crazy wind that we're getting here, oh boy, we got dogs outside. Inside. Hey! Crazy wind out here. We just couldn't record very much, but that's gonna wrap up the night. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Enjoyed seeing Gray running again. And part-timer. Can't even see, it's too dark. He's glaring. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next video. Living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living life up in the fast lane. Life, though you limits, you just put them in Coronas, Coronas, Coronas. I've been working, I need that advance with the bonus, the bonus, the bonus. Ain't no thoughts about tomorrow, I'm just living in the moment, the moment, the moment. Full tank of gas and 200 on the dash, bitch, I'm zoning, I'm zoning, I'm zoning. Fast lane, living life up in the fast lane. Hey. Living life up in the fast lane. And I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down, I ain't slowing down. Living life up in the fast lane. Pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground, pedal to the ground. Living